KP's Video News, y'all. It's KP's Video News, y'all. It's KP's Video News, y'all. It's KP's Video News, y'all. What? It's KP's Video News, y'all. It's KP's Video News, y'all. Yep. Went ahead on and let the whole thing play. All right, folks, what's going on with you? It's KP's Video News, y'all. And, yep, it's a good thing. Yeah. No, Kev Mack, I know you over there celebrating, man. That Big U's son got drafted by the Chargers over there. Yep. Yeah. Diane Henley, Big U Henley's son, drafted to the Chargers. Anyway, how about getting some tickets, bro? Yep. Big U is gonna get a lot of that, man. Everybody gonna be asking for tickets now. Same with Derek Craig. His nephew was the number one draft pick. The Young, the quarterback that went number one is Derek Craig from Morningside High School. That's his nephew. Anyway, yep, a lot of brothers, family members get in the NFL draft over there. Anyway, on with the show. Got Lamar Johnson that was locked up for a crime that he didn't commit. And after nearly 30 years, a 3-decade legal battle, Johnson was exonerated. And he walked out of a St. Louis, Missouri courthouse a free man on February 14, 2023, on Valentine's Day. And Johnson's exoneration came at a very meaningful time for his younger daughter. And she said, well, she's getting married in April of this year. And so, she wanted her father to be there. So Barrow, she got her wish. On April 21st, beautiful spring day, Johnson walked his daughter down the aisle. That's right. Got a chance to walk his daughter down the aisle. Congratulations for that. And his daughter said that she always knew her father was innocent. In 1995, he was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole for the shooting of his friend Marcus Boyd. Johnson was 21 years old at the time, and Boyd was 25. Had been shot by 2 gunmen on his St. Louis porch in 1994. Johnson had an alibi. His girlfriend at the time, and Kiara's mother, Erica Barrow, and she told investigators he was with her the entire night of the shooting except for 5 minutes, not long enough to even travel to the crime scene about 3 miles away. Law enforcement never spoke with Erica Barrow, but they did question an eyewitness, Greg Elking, who said the 2 men had attacked the victim. Elking later picked Johnson out of a lineup, and his testimony was largely responsible for Johnson's conviction in 1995. Elking later recanted his story after the Johnson conviction, and 2 other men confessed to the crime. Despite all this evidence, all this new evidence, and all this decades passed, and Johnson remained behind bars. Problem is, I don't know what else to do, Johnson stated during a 2021 prison interview. I mean, what else is needed? You got the person who recanted the story, and two other people confessed to the crime, and even then, they still wanted to keep him in jail, and they did keep him in prison. So he's going to be doing an interview. Did an interview on 48 Hours, all new 48 Hours, and so he did that interview, and in his first and only television interview, Elking, the one that testified against him, told his story. Elking was with Boyd the night he passed, and they were sitting together on Boyd's porch when Elkins says two masked men, with only their eyes visible, suddenly flew up the steps and shot his friend. The most horrifying thing he ever seen in his life, he stated. And, so Elkins said he only got a look at one of the attackers. Even so, he could not, only thing he could see was his eyes because of the mask. But when police brought Elkins in for questioning, he was shown a lineup 3 times that included Lamar Johnson and did not identify him. Yet, finally, he said he was able to identify him, testified about it at Johnson's trial in 1995. At the time, Elkins claimed he could identify Johnson only by the look of his eyes. You didn't know at all, did you? The reporter asked him, he said, I didn't know. Elkins replied he didn't know. Elkins alleged that he felt pressured by the detectives to make an identification. He said at first he refused. However, he said investigators told him that his own life was in danger. They told him that Johnson was a violent man who may have been involved in as many as 6 other shootings. And these claims have never been substantiated, and Johnson has never been charged with any other situations. But lead detective in the case, Joseph Nicholson, has denied under oath that he pressured Elkins into identifying Johnson. Elkins stated that he lied on the testimony. I lied because I thought I was doing the right thing. Yep. Wow. That's crazy, man. So Dwight Warren was a St. Louis Circuit attorney in 1995, said he believed Elkins because I looked him straight in the eye and I said, I want to know if he did it. Tell me if you're sure of the identification. Please tell me the truth because I don't want to charge somebody who's not guilty. And so Elkins replied, well, quote unquote, I couldn't tell you, but he told me he was telling the truth and he knew that he did it. And so he presented the evidence and the jury convicted him. 3 decades later, Johnson was finally granted an innocence hearing. Elkins took the stand in St. Louis courtroom on December 2022, facing Johnson for the first time since his trial all those years ago. Elkins testified that he lied under oath and couldn't identify Johnson, a man from Boyd's neighborhood. And he took the stand and testified that he and a friend were the real. A man from Boyd's neighborhood named James Howard took the stand and testified that they were the real shooters. 2 months later, Missouri Court Judge David Mason exonerated Johnson. He walked out of the courtroom a free man that day. Now, his daughter will finally get to enjoy her father-daughter relationship in a whole new way, in person. Despite her father being sent away before Barrow could even walk, the two formed a special bond while he was in prison. Wow, man. Man's whole life, man, just thrown away, all because these cops wanted a conviction so bad. They wanted a conviction so bad, man. They were willing to do all of that. Yep. And they went through all that. Anyway, on to the next story. The Virginia School Board district where the 6-year-old kid shot a teacher earlier this year is arguing that she should receive workers' compensation for her injuries instead of a $40 million judgment that she's seeking. Abigail Werner, 25, was reading to a first grade class at Rich Neck Elementary School on January 6th when one of her students with a history of behavioral challenges and violence pulled out a gun and shot her in the hand and chest with a single bullet. A lawsuit accuses the school district of gross negligence according to the court filings. She was hospitalized for almost 2 weeks, and last month she was still in shock and still had nightmares about the shooting. The case rattled the military shipbuilding community on coastal Virginia and garnered national debate about gun violence and school violence. And Verna sued the Newport News School District in April, claiming administrators acted negligently when they failed to heed warnings that the boy was dangerous and ignored the reports on the day that he had a gun. So plaintiff was clearly injured while at work, and this is what the school board stated in its filing on Wednesday. This Warner's injuries falls under Virginia's workers' compensation, which is said it covers assaults against employees. Plaintiff was clearly injured while at work or place of employment by a student in the classroom where she was a teacher during the school day. So the school board is talking about she doesn't deserve $40 million. She deserves workers' comp. Yeah, I'm going to follow this. I'm going to definitely follow this case here to see where this goes. Yeah, got to see where this is going to go. I'm telling you, man, that's a small amount of money. When you start thinking, you talking about workers' comp, compared to, you know, compared to getting that bag over there. Anyway, Nick Cannon came out and spoke on his. He got a new radio show, and he was talking about his radio show on the 28th about the end of the end of Jada Pinkett's Red Table Talk. So he was like, yeah, she don't. So according uh to Nick Cannon, the TV show, which also stars Willow and Jada Pinkett's mother, Adrienne Banfield, being axed was a good thing, particularly in light of Will Smith's viral slap in 2022. Yep. And so this is what Nick Cannon stated. If there was no Red Table Talk, then he wouldn't have slapped Chris Rock. That was loyalty, Will and Jada, when they brought it to the table. Cannon went on, I don't know what this is all about, y'all. I just want to mind my black-owned business. I don't want to be all up in everybody else's. So, keep that to yourselves. Over the course of the Red Table Talk's 129 episodes, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air star joined his family multiple times to talk about their personal lives. In one 2020 segment, he and his wife opened up in a one-on-one conversation about their private separation and the latest ensuing entanglement with singer August Alsina. Cannon's aversion to hearing about the Smiths family private business is a bit ironic considering how public he's been over the years about his own life, particularly his belief in consensual non-monogamy and the dozen kids he's birthed with 6 different women, 5 of whom who have been born since last summer. So here he is trying to, saying whatever about somebody else's situation. And so, hey, it is what it is, folks. It is what it is, man. Folks going to do what they're going to do, and they're going to say what they're going to say. Yep. So we have a Rashay Barnes, founder of Barnes Media Group, created National Black Funding Day to bring recognition to black businesses and address the lack of financial freedom they face. The holiday will be celebrated on September 30th. And, 2190 discussed the hardships of black businesses with Barnes with a network of partners and organizations. The founder's sole purpose of the holiday is to leverage organizations to positively impact black businesses. And National Black Funding Day celebrates all black businesses, even those owned by black billionaires who establish successful enterprises. And Barnes believes successful black business owners should advocate for economic equality. And we encourage all individuals, regardless of their wealth or status, to support black-owned businesses and invest in their success. Barnes wants to hold wealthy black business owners accountable, making sure they invest and drive economic growth in black businesses, and she believes they have the knowledge and equity to help black entrepreneurs. And we encourage them to make donations and investments, and it can make a real difference in the lives of black entrepreneurs and their families. And my interpretation of that whole situation is that what black people should do and black entrepreneurs, what they should do is put their money together. Black entrepreneurs in every major city. These guys that have all this big money, put your money together and start opening black banks in the communities of across the country: Chicago, New York, Detroit, Atlanta, LA. Every major city that has a large black population and has people that all have black businesses, put your money together and create banks. Create your own banks and finance your own situation. And then if it's any other, put the money in. So therefore, any new businesses that want to get started, they can go to the black banks and get their business loans. And then when the black churches across the country, take the money that you got from those black churches, and instead of taking it and putting it into those white banks across the country, put that money in black-owned banks and create a wealth system for the black community that has never existed before. We need more black banks. We need our own banks in this country, and therefore we can keep our wealth in our community and strengthen our community financially. And that's just my personal opinion. Okay. All right. Just a story I started out with. The son of rap executive Big U forges his own path with the Chargers. And Costa Mesa, California, Diane Henley grew up with the well-known father. The spotlight is now shining on him after he was selected in the third round of the NFL draft by his hometown LA Chargers. Henley, who played linebacker for Washington State, was the 85th overall selection on Friday night. And record executive Eugene Big U Henley has worked with many prominent West Coast rappers, including Snoop Dogg, Corrupt, and the late Nipsey Hussle. Dale and Henley has also produced and featured in the 2021 FX documentary series Hip Hop Uncovered. Might be one of the most famous people he knows now. It's crazy just to be on the flip side of the aspect that Dale Henley said at the team complex on Saturday. Eugene now runs a nonprofit called Developing Options, which works to help at youth risk in Los Angeles. Diane's mother, Stacy, also works for the foundation. Henley said his parents deserve a lot of credit for his success when it comes to it. Said Henley said he has already known most of the stories that were told, but there are still a couple that were new to him. And besides his connection to music, Big U is a former gang leader. He was one of the leaders of the Rolling 60s Crips gang, and he was arrested in a drug sting and served 12 years of a 23-year sentence. So he did a lot of stuff in his past and gets on about having a C's in class. But hey, he said that's his father. He said one thing he did say, as much as I'm excited, I got to figure out how to keep my mom away from my address. So if you guys have any ideas about how to hide the address from your mother, I need those tips, he said, laughing. Oh, boy. Yep. Got to buy your mama a Lexus. Anyway, last story got Michelle Obama sings background vocals on stage with Bruce at a Bruce Springsteen concert. Yep. Bruce Springsteen was also joined by Steven Spielberg's wife, Kate Capshaw. And so Kate Capshaw and Michelle Obama joined Bruce Springsteen on stage in concert. And so they were singing background music. Yep. Yeah. Took the stage with the boss, 73, at his concert in Barcelona, Spain on Friday to sing his 1985 hit Glory Days. And so, like I said, she was also joined by Steven Spielberg's wife, Kate Capshaw. And, you can look around. You might be able to find that on this channel on YouTube. Look on YouTube. You might be able to find it. And, hey, congratulations, Michelle Obama. I don't know what else it is for you to do. You've been first lady, married to the president. What else? What else is it to do? What's left? Now you singing with the boss. Singing with the boss over there. Oh, well, you know who it is, y'all. KP Video News, y'all. News, y'all. It's KP Video News, y'all.